In a time long ago, there lived in the kingdom of Gallowmere a sorcerer named Zarok. This arrogant, pitiless man hated his fellow citizens for their simple and peaceful ways. So he raised an army of demons and set out to take the realm for his own. The king's champion, Sir Daniel Fortesque, led the militia in the battle against this unholy horde. Songs are still sung of how he spearheaded the charge deep into the accursed multitude, how demons fell before him like wheat before the scythe, and how at last, though mortally wounded, he destroyed the sorcerer utterly. Fortesque went down in history that day as the hero of Gallowmere, and a time of peace began, which was to last for 100 years. And then the sorcerer returned.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. The name's Defender, and welcome to MediEvil. developed by Other Ocean Emeryville and released for the Sony PlayStation 4 in 2019. The MediEvil remake is, shocker, a remake of the 1998 PlayStation 1 cult classic MediEvil, originally developed by Sony Computer Entertainment Cambridge studio. We will assume the role of the reanimated Sir Daniel Fortesque, and, well, it's been 100 years since our epic battle with the evil sorcerer Zarok. Guess we should find out how things have changed. Make sure I got my options the way that I want. Alright, let's get started. Wake up, bonehead. There's hero work to do. So welcome to Dan's Crypt. It's a homely enough establishment.
It has risen again. Sir Daniel Fortesque. See? The hero of Gallowmere who fell at the first charge. The fog of war and the shrouds of time conspire to turn the arrow fodder into the savior of the day. But we knows better. Let it alone. Fate has given it a second chance. A chance to forget the ignoble truth. A chance to defeat Zarok and live up to the legend. We hopes it does well.
So, yeah, the initial premise is really quite interesting. So, as we saw in the opening cutscene, as the land of Gallowmere remembers us, we are a brave hero who nobly took down Zarok at the cost of his own life. However, as we just saw, the actual reality is that we were the first chump to die from an arrow to the eye. But what's it gonna be? Are we truly just a goof-up who got lucky? Or do we actually have it in us to become a hero? Guess we'll find out. So yeah, you can walk up to books and press the triangle button to read them. Reading gets you all sorts of useful information.
You must be out of shape after 100 years lying on your back. Use the crypt to get to grips with your new lease on life.
Sounds good, mysterious disembodied voice. First things first, we need to arm ourselves. And while, yes, technically, we are always armed, we can just swing our arm. I think we could do something a little bit better than that. Also, hello, genre. We're glad to have you here. Hope things are going well. I like skeletons. Skeletons are cool. Let's see. So yeah, with your arm, you can just press the square button to swing it. That's your basic attack. Most weapons have an alternate form of attack, which you can activate with the circle button. You throw your arm like a boomerang. So technically, you do always have a way to attack, but like I said before, we should find something more appropriate.
Any treasure that you find will be added to your coin total. Coins are used to buy items from the greedy merchant gargoyles.
Ah, good old commerce. Yeah, we're going to want to make sure we collect as much cash as we can find.
Some weapons contain powers and abilities beyond the ordinary. Be sure to test every weapon to discover their secondary abilities. Some weapon abilities are immediate, and some may need a bit of time to charge before they realize their full potential.
Believe it or not, there's a skeleton in you right now. Freaky. Oh, we found some throwing daggers. So yeah, some weapons are melee-based, some are ranged. Although technically any dagger can be a throwing dagger if you're not a coward. Found a star rune. I'll explain what this is shortly. But yeah, you can jump. You only have a single jump. There's no double jumping in this game, so don't get any fancy ideas.
During your travels through Gallowmere, you will collect many items. To see your items or to use one, review your inventory. In it, you will also find your Book of Gallowmere, which will keep a record of the denizens you've encountered and bestow you with keen insights that only a disembodied voice could provide.
Alright, well, we found a small sword. Well, yeah, it's a sword. It's small, dull, barely holding together, like Dan. But, you know, we'll make the best use of it. Found a copper shield. What good is a hero without a shield? Well, he'd be dead. Just ask Dan. Hold the R1 button to block. If you get hit while your shield is up from the front, your shield will take damage instead of you. You will also be knocked back a bit, so just be aware of that. Shields are destroyable, but you will be able to find more replacements if you're an explorative sort.
When you're ready to leave this crypt, you'll find an exit at the end of the hall. To unlock the gates, you must find a runestone and place it in the ornate hand set next to the doorway.
So yeah, these glowing hands represent runes that you will need. There are 5 different types. We've picked up the star rune, which will go for the yellow hands. You can just plop the rune in, and it'll open up the gate. You use the runes automatically, so just approach the hand.
You will find life bottles throughout Gallowmere. They contain the same magic that rose you from your slumber and will raise you from the dead once again. When your life is low, using this bottle will help you feel a little better. And remember to fill it when you can.
So life bottles essentially represent extra health. You start with 300 life points, and each bottle represents 300 more points. Life bottles will be used either when your current health gauge runs out, or if you fall into a pit or deep water. As the magical disembodied voice said, there is a way to replenish it. But we will find that way out once we leave.
Track down Zarok by retracing his diabolical odyssey through Gallowmere. You can spot the exits from an area by looking out for his stinking trail of magic slime.
Sounds good to me. Alright, let's go see how Gallomere's changed. Alright, welcome to our world map. So, MediEvil is a stage-based game. Technically, each stage is explorative in its own way, but you travel via level to level. There's only one other place we can go, and yes, you can revisit stages if you want. This will be something that'll be more useful later. But for now, why don't we head to our first proper stage, the Graveyard. Alrighty. So yeah, we're just gonna have a nice little stroll and see what's going on. So, there's the sword. You can just press the square button to swing it wildly, or you can hold the circle button to charge it up. Once it's charged up enough, release the circle button for a 360 spin attack. This is way better than your basic slash, so you're going to be seeing me use it a lot.
Welcome back to your beloved Gallowmere. The stinking dead have risen up to dance with the lifeless living, and they want to do it over your dead body.
Well, we're not going to let that happen, now are we? But yeah, trying to explain the, gameplay of MediEvil is a little weird, since some stages have different priorities, I guess. This is a pretty standard one, walk forward, slash zombies, profit, all that good stuff. Now, in the top right corner of the screen, you'll notice a little percentage go up as we defeat enemies. This represents chalice progress. Defeating enemies, or at least the correct kind of enemies, will fill up your chalice. Once it becomes full enough, you'll be able to grab it hidden somewhere in the stage. I'll explain more about what we can actually do with it once we get one. But you're going to want to seek them out, trust me.
That small light following you around is a wisp. The heroes of the Hall are not supposed to intervene in mortal affairs, but when they heard that Sir Daniel Fortesque had a shot at redemption, well, they decided to give you a hand with your depth perception. He will circle enemies, helping you direct your ranged attacks, but he'll also let you know what things might merit a closer look.
Alright, so yeah, the little wisp will help us lock onto enemies when we're trying to throw daggers at them or other things. If we look behind here, we'll pick up an earth rune. Yeah, as I had said at the top of this, MediEvil was originally a PlayStation 1 game released in 1998. And MediEvil is a certified cult classic in the PlayStation library. It's certainly not on the same level as games like, Crash Bandicoot or Spyro the Dragon, but people love themselves some MediEvil. At least the people who played it, anyway. Sometimes Dan has trouble reading books, so we just gotta make sure we're in the right spot. There we go.
Don't let zombies get you down. Tend those wounds by stepping into this fountain of rejuvenation.
Yep, so these green fountains will heal you. If your health is full, you can use them to fill up your life bottles. Do note, each fountain does have a finite amount of healing it will provide you before it shuts off. Now, if you exit and re-enter the stage, the fountain will return, so it's not like permanently gone, but you can't just stand there all day long and have infinite healing. So yeah, as you can see, my spin attack just gives me more range and helps me deal more damage.
Sometimes it may be useful to view the world from a different point of view. Be sure to take a moment from time to time to enjoy the beauty of our beloved Gallowmere. Keep your eye peeled for anything interesting.
Yeah, you can hold L2 to use Dan cam, which is basically just like Resi 4 cam, behind the shoulder and all that. Found a Chaos rune. Too bad it's not a Chaos Emerald. Hey, howdy, hey, hello, Booble. We're glad to have you here. Hope your Sunday's going well. Uh-oh. Ha-ha! I'll just quickly patch myself up, and we'll be on our merry way. Oh, hold on, I'm going to take care of this guy first before I partake in some reading. Or I try to, anyway.
Remember, nothing remains hidden under the gaze of an angel.
I'll keep that in mind, thank you. But yeah, there's definitely a bit more method to your movement in MediEvil. You don't move particularly quickly, and like I said before, you only have a single jump. There's not too much platforming. There's definitely some, but not. This is not a platform-focused game, kind of like, again, Crash Bandicoot or even Spyro the Dragon.
The object here is the chalice. Every time you dispatch an enemy with a soul, the chalice fills a little more. Fill the chalice and then collect it, and you will be worthy of visiting the sacred Hall of Heroes to claim a new weapon. There is a chalice to be found in every region of Gallowmere. They are all hidden or well guarded. Only a true hero will collect the full set.
And like any collector, a full set is important. Alright, so as you can see, we're pretty close, and many stages have more than 100% in terms of the amount of souls you can collect to fill the chalice, so that is important, but generally defeating every enemy in your path is usually advised.
The living world lies beyond these skull gates. The master of the hilltop mausoleum, the stained glass demon, has possession of the skull key.
Okay, so what this teaches us is that some stages will actually have access to other stages that we need. So we need the skull key from a different stage in order to progress. Alright, so now we defeated enough enemies, we can collect our chalice. But I am going to take out all of the remaining enemies first, so that we can have a nice clear path back to our exit. Yeah, you're going to be seeing me spam the spin attack more than a Link player in Super Smash Bros. Skeletons are not renowned for their buoyancy. You can wade in shallow water no problem, but anything deeper than that, well, you're gonna have a bad time.
Feel free to have a paddle in the shallow water, but don't be tempted to go for a swim. Buoyancy can be a problem for those of a dead disposition.
I got another copper shield, not that I was even using it. I'm gonna get the gold, but I am not going to heal myself because we have the ability to actually extend our life in this stage. This guy used to be on Burger King or McDonald's Happy Meal mascots. He does kind of have that, like, goofy 90s mascot energy, which, I mean, to be fair, MediEvil was released in 1998, so it makes sense. But, yeah, he's not exactly the most daring of heroes, shall we say. The Hall of Heroes awaits. If we spin the angel statue in this direction, this gate will open. At the top, we'll find a life bottle. So now we have 2 life bottles, which means we have 900 points of health. If we head right over here, we'll find this little guy. And more zombies. So these guys are merchant gargoyles. They will sell us stuff. We can buy more throwing daggers. That's pretty much all we can do at first. But they will offer us more services as we progress. But of course, you need cash. Which thankfully we do have a little bit, but I don't really feel the need to spend anything right now. I'm just going to top myself up. Which is one of the problems that, well, the original MediEvil had and the remake does as well. Your health carries over between stages, so if you exit a stage with only like 100 hit points left, you'll start the next stage with only 100 hit points. And there are no checkpoints in stages, so if you die, you go right back to the beginning. So it is always, always, always a good idea to milk any healing fountains you may have left for health, or even go back to previous stages to try and replenish your health, which you're gonna see me do at some points.
Tread softly. Zarok awaits beyond these gates. The master meets with the demon from the mausoleum, hatching plots of purest evil. Forgotten nobodies would be wise to make themselves scarce.
Also, we're going to play a fun little game throughout this adventure. It's what ridiculous accent is the next character going to have? Because, rest assured, there are some performances in this game that make me laugh, but still also thoroughly confuse me.
Welcome to the Hall of Heroes, where the bravest warriors from history spend eternity, feasting, singing, and arm wrestling. If they think you're worthy enough, you may be able to persuade them to give you a new weapon.
Alright. So yeah, the Hall of Heroes can only be accessed by collecting a chalice in certain stages. You will also not be allowed to leave until you actually get the prize from the hero in question. The rewards that you get from the Hall of Heroes are based on the number of chalices you've collected, not the stage that you found the chalice in. That's very important. So if you go through the entire game not collecting chalices, but then you grab a chalice in the final stage, you're only going to get the reward for collecting your first chalice, so don't get any funny ideas.
To pay homage to the heroes, stand in front of their designated statues and await spiritual guidance.
Alright, if you insist. Also, you may have noticed, these stairs are transparent. You will not be able to go up to the higher floors until you've collected enough chalices.
Only when you are truly worthy as a hero will you be able to ascend to the higher level of this hall. When you have paid homage to all of the heroes in the lower hall, the ghostly stairs will then become solid.
So yeah, why don't we say hello to our first hero here.
Captain Fortesque, it's me, Canny Tim. Does the battle go well? How I wish I could fight at your side again, sir. But hold, you could take my crossbow. It's got rapid fire and you can ricochet the darts off walls to shoot around corners. I used it at the Battle of Gallowmere. After you were slain, I shot Zarok's champion, Lord Kardok. A clean kill through the eye at some 1,000 yards. Not that there's anything clever about shooting someone in the eye, sir. Oh, goodbye, sir.
And now we have a crossbow. Nice. The crossbow actually doesn't have any special alternate fire, so yeah, you just fire it. However, if you use alternate fire, you shoot it gangster style by shooting it sideways, which is hysterical. Also take this opportunity to buy more ammo should we need it. Not really. I am, however, going to take this opportunity to switch my weapon set just so that I have my... I always like to keep my melee weapon as my primary and my ranged option as my secondary. It just makes more sense to me. Alright, well, we've got our prize. Let's vamoose. Alright, where to next? Next up, Cemetery Hill. This is probably one of the more famous stages in MediEvil. Certainly one of the more well-remembered ones. This map is cool. It is a cool map. Unfortunately, I don't think there's a way to actually get a far out view so you can pan around the whole thing. But don't worry, we'll traverse the whole thing by the time this is over.
So, even from the shackles of death, my old enemy pursues me. You're too late, Fortesque. Already my army has risen from the grave. You will never leave this necropolis.
Oh boy, rolling boulders. Yo, this is a nice shot. I like this. Alright, onwards then. Excuse me, I'm trying to read here. Very inconsiderate.
Some obstructions can be smashed down with clubs and certain other weapons. Try experimenting.
Alright. So yeah, this stage is going to introduce to us alternate paths, which may not necessarily yield an exit to us, but will be very useful for later, and sometimes may even be required.
Of great archaeological interest, destroy the boulder and plunder the valuable treasures within.
Alright. First things first, we need something we can use to bash down rocks. Let's have to take a look around. Excuse me. Ah, so you see the big chest with a skull on it? It is not a mimic. Instead, oh, the lock looks at you. That's cool. I never noticed that before. But yeah, if you whack the skull chest, it'll generate a powerful explosion, which does deal damage to you, but will also blow up any nearby enemies. There's a merchant, and this is a life vial. An energy vial is just concentrated health. Pick it up for a big health boost.
These boulders are going to crush your bones if you aren't careful. I hope you have a good shield equipped. Remember that each hit on your shield will chip away at its durability. Better it than you, though.
So yeah, you can block with your shield by holding R1. From this mountain, the solid rocks, the ones that aren't glowing, will just simply crack against your shield when they bump into you. The red rocks, on the other hand, will just simply keep pushing you back and damaging you, so you'll want to be careful. It is usually better to just try and avoid the rocks instead, but We'll just wait for our good first opportunity. But yeah, along many of the little gaps, you can just kind of ascend, and also some of the rocks will descend down the gaps, like this is medieval Donkey Kong or something. If we slide down here, though, and take out the zombies, come on, read the book, Dan. Read the book. I know you can do it.
The club is a crude but effective weapon. Bash with it, burn with it, but beware, one bash too many, and it will break.
So yeah, the club, which we'll find right here, conveniently enough, has durability, which you can see by the little percentage by it. Press the square button to swing it. It'll bash boulders in your path. However, each bash will consume 1 percentage point from it, so you'll want to be careful. The club also has another function. You can press and hold the circle button to stick it out in front of you. This is useful for igniting it. You can then use it to set fire to enemies or hit them with a flaming club. You can extinguish the club by simply putting it away. This is important because if you let your club burn for too long, it will be consumed, so don't do that. But with our club, we can bash our way in here and have a look around.
Fresh air. We hate these dark old caves and their filthy stench of old witches. A coven of the warty old hags lived here once, unholy fires burning all night while they brewed up unspeakable muck in their cauldrons. They moved on years back, but the smell still makes our eyes sting.
I mean, I guess to be fair, if I was stuck to the wall for millions of years, I too would become extremely grumpy. Yeah, if we use our club here, we can knock down this bookcase.
A guide to covens for witches and witchcraft enthusiasts. A witch's coven would reach the height of its power only when all of their sacred flames were alight. Witches have been known to offer help to the questing adventurer, yet they are a reclusive people and have to be summoned by the aid of mystic charms or talismans. Let it be known that help from a witch is rarely given freely, and the witch will more often than not make a request of the adventurer before any such help is given. If seeking to summon a witch, remember that they are quite territorial. Any signs of previous witch activity in an area is a good indication that a witch can be called upon.
Alright, that's good to know. Pretty sure we can't smack down any of these other bookcases, as fun as it might be. But we do have this flame, so... And yes, you can set yourself on fire. Alright, that was a little messy, but we made it through. So I'll grab this copper shield to replace it. I've got the chalice. We got some money, and the very important witch's talisman. We will need this for later, so make sure you stop by and pick it up. Alright, that's enough of this rotting old dump. Let's actually make our way up Cemetery Hill. Also, thanks to the power of our new club, we can use it to bash down the not red rocks, should we need to. Got some more money. Ow. There is actually a trophy for getting to the very top of this place without getting hit by a boulder once. I have actually gotten it, and it was thoroughly miserable. Ugh. I'll just take that. All right, we're here.
We give our lives.
Good riddance.
The adventurer would be wise to be thorough in the exploration of an area. Hidden locations reap great rewards.
That's all right. We've already explored that place. So we'll just go ahead and heal ourselves. You can see the bottles in the top left being filled as we stand in the fountain. All right, we're fully healed. So let's go ahead and get out of here. Hey, we're back!
Back from the battle so soon? It must think it is a hero by now. But only a true hero is worthy of a place in the Hall of Heroes. See the ghostly statue of your fraudster self? When it has turned solid, a true hero you will be.
So yeah, we got a ways to go. Let's see. Oh, we're gonna talk to Canny Tim again.
Hurrah! I knew it would take more than the army of the evil dead to throw your strides up. I've something that may help you on your quest, Captain. I give it to you freely, though I have no idea what it is.
Oh, a life bottle! Excellent! We now have 1,200 health. And believe me, you might think, wow, that's a lot. No. No, by the end of this, 1,200 will be just the very beginning. Alright, I'm going to do that and that. I do think we will need the club again, but for now, we're just gonna keep what we got. Alright, with Cemetery Hill in the rearview mirror, we can progress onto the Hilltop Mausoleum. Let's read the book.
You are entering a house of pain. Rumors abound of evil doings in the secret catacombs below this very hall.
Understood. I'm going to use my crossbow on the imps because they are extremely obnoxious. Mostly because they love to steal your items. And if they do, you'll be able to find them at the Merchant Gargoyle, for a nominal fee, of course. And it is a lot of money, so we're going to want to just make sure we're taking the necessary precautions to not be stolen from by simply using our crossbow and unloading into the little guys. It just seems like the right thing to do, you know? But I guess speaking about it a bit more, my history with MediEvil is actually fairly recent. I did not play the PlayStation original. I didn't grow up with it. So, I only came about recently from the remake. And funnily enough, that was only a couple of months ago, so this is actually fairly recent for me. But I'm glad I've played it. This has become I wouldn't say an absolute favorite, but I've thoroughly enjoyed myself. And yeah, we'll need to use the club to bash down these. Alright, and I left this club here, just so that I can get a fully fresh one once I'm done. Find some cash and some other goodies. Ah! Alright, let's descend, shall we?
Watch out for sticky-fingered imps. These thieves will strip you down to your armored undies. Rumor has it they fence their stolen wares with the merchant gargoyles.
Yep, so we want to make sure we take them out. Use the club to bash the glass. And before we go inside, you know what? Alright, looks like that's all of them. You know what? I'm actually going to do it like this. Alright, so we got these glass spikes. You can jump over them, but you also can just smack them with your club, so I think that's the more prudent option. Uh-oh. There we go. Found an energy vial. Now, once we pick this up, we're going to want to make a run for it. I said pick it up. Pick it up. There we go. Thankfully, having already bashed down some of the glass, we can simply mosey on out. Well, I guess we're not going back that way. We need the moon rune. And I like that the hand makes a grasp for it even though we don't have it. That's just such a nice touch. I will say, MediEvil is really good about getting the small details right. Just all the little quirks and things, just to give the game that little extra essence of life, even though Dan is very much dead. Here you go. Little weasels. Oh, hello. We need the chaos rune here.
The stained glass demon is the master of the mausoleum. His wretched soul lies preserved inside a frozen glass heart. Shrouded in a veil of darkness beneath the mausoleum, you will find this pre-frozen menace.
Alright, so we'll need to make our way downstairs. Honestly, I'm alright. I'm gonna keep my healing for now. Spooky. Okay, the moon rune. This door here brings us to this sad chap.
The would-be phantom longs to play a new tune, but he seems doomed to repeat the same cause of despair over and over.
Alright, well, if we can help him out, maybe he'll help us. I'm gonna pick this up for the health regen. So now that we have both of the runes, we're gonna go back and place the moon rune first. But yeah, like you see, all of the stages so far have had very different methods of progression. You know, the graveyard was incredibly straightforward. You know, nothing to it. The cemetery hill had a branching path and also a climb up a mountain. And here, well, we've got this. Again, very different from each other. Got some throwing daggers. Alright, so we'll want to push this. I'm impressed at how Dan can push this without having any muscles. Okay, cool. I'm sure that was fine. Alright, so let's see, sorry, I do have my notes just to make sure that I'm going the correct path and all that. Be able to just circumvent. Yep. Now that we're here, We'll dive back down the hole. Here you go. I can now collect the chalice, wherever it is. Oh, I'm burning. Ah, more energy. I love it. Yeah, you'll want to make sure you're always keeping track of your health, because you don't really enter like an invincibility state when you take damage, so it's very easy for hits to rack up quickly. All right. That was easy enough. All right, with the sheet music in hand, which I think has a funny description. Sheet music. Music to your fears. All right, if we carefully circumvent the light in the middle. Here you go, sir. And with that, not only do we get some gold, but also the chalice. Let's see, I'm actually going to equip the throwing daggers. Because meet the first boss. The stained glass demon. The demon's heart is his only vulnerable point. So yeah, we'll need to just avoid its attacks. So it can attack with like this shockwave of glass. And also kind of jump around. I'm going to charge up my throwing daggers, and we're just going to start tossing. But yeah, if you get into a pinch, remember to use your shield to block some damage. Huh? I have to admit, this is a really cool first boss fight. It's not too difficult. It's got the spectacle and spades. I love it. Aw, he fell to pieces. And with that, we found the skull key. We now make our way out of the graveyard. But first, I'm gonna heal myself. And of course, we're gonna escape in the only way possible, jumping out through the window. We're back.
It's the Hall of Heroes shopping mall. Bargain hunters should check out the ground floor. Well-to-do shoppers should check out the upper floor. That's where it's at.
Alright, well, I guess we'll have to become well-to-do the only way we know how. As you can see, our statue is pretty transparent, but it will eventually become solid. You watch. Alright, so who's ready for our fun game of which accent do you think this character will have? Everyone put your guesses in now. Alright, time's up. Let's see.
Ah, Fortesque! What's this I hear about that arch-cad Zarok still being alive? Thought you killed the fella. Never mind, you old warhorse. Better show him what's what, eh? I expect Johnny's zombies a bit more of a handful than you remember. How are you doing for weapons? Here, take my warhammer. It'll smash anything and it won't fall apart like a club. I only ever get to use it cracking walnuts around this place. Nonsense, Fortesque. I won't take no for an answer. Knock a few heads for old Stan your iron hewer, eh?
Obtained the Warhammer. It is now officially hammer time. However, as you can see, the swing is a little bit slower than the club, so if you need like a bash immediately, the club still got you covered. However, the Warhammer has a special charge attack. You charge it enough, it'll perform a devastating ground slam with an electric shockwave. Very nice. Let's see, I'm going to put my sword back. And I'll re-equip my crossbow. Yeah, the sword will be generally your most used melee weapon. But yeah, we've reached a dead end. So now that we have the skull key, we'll need to go back. But not to the stage that you think. Because there's actually a new stage. Return to the graveyard. This is where we actually need to go. And so it's what we're going to do. And as you can see, we're going to be going back through the stage in the opposite direction from where we first came, which is pretty cool. However, it is decidedly more dangerous. So hopefully you've been collecting some health and some upgrades. Nope, please let me up. I want the money. I thought an enemy was going to spawn there as soon as I picked up the money, because the game does like to do that on occasion. Yeah, as we can see, the, like, putrid stench of Zarok has thoroughly corrupted this place. I mean, even more so than when we were first here. So yeah, I think that's another thing that people generally agree that MediEvil does really well. The aesthetic. Because boy, does this place look gothic. The music is phenomenal. It's not really something you could hum, per se, or at least I can't, but it really sets the tone here. Kind of like a mix between Danny Elfman and Dark Souls, which, I don't know, feels thematically appropriate. But we also grabbed ourselves a silver shield, penultimate protection. But I'm going to keep spending this copper shield, just because, well, we have it. I don't really need anything. I will, however, take this health. Tasty! Make sure Danny Elfman in Dark Souls is not a sentence I expected today. Well, to be fair, I mean, am I wrong, though? Tell me I'm wrong. You do it. You can't do it. No, you're not. That's what I thought. Alright, unfortunately the gate is locked. But I did see that healing fountain back there, so I'm going to see if we can't have a quick patch job. If I can remember how to get there. Or is that even a place to be gotten to? Doesn't change me not being ready for it. You know what? Fair enough. I will take that. I guess... Well, I don't know. Maybe I can finagle my way over there. Let's see. Because I want my healing, dang it. Also, if you need to move more slowly, you can actually do so by using the D-pad. Ah, much better. Alright. Alright, so first things first. Reassign this. Use the skull key. Spooky. Uh-oh, we got werewolves. Or I think they're just regular wolves. But yeah, as the sword flailing may suggest, Dan was never the greatest of sword fighters. But, I mean, you know, it's still a big hunk of steel. If you swing it enough, eventually you're gonna achieve what you need to. Uh-oh. Who let the dogs out of the graveyard? I guess it was me. I finally got what this art style reminds me of. Reminds me of the Fable games. Yeah, I can kind of see that. Although, that's probably more from the remake's perspective. If you saw it from, you know, the original chunky polygon PlayStation version, probably not. Here, take it. Here's some money. There's a health vial, which I guess I'll pick it up. Here's the chalice. We'll need to come back for it. Man, he is running for it. That's all right. That's why we have this. Alright, let me double check if there are any other enemies along the other path, because if there are, we can just get the chalice now. That's affirmative. And now we can get it. Sweet! Let's see, this brings us over here. This is the way we want to go. So let's not go this way. Remember, adventurer pro tip, always go the wrong way first. There might be hidden goodies on that way. And what's an adventure without goodies? Not an adventure I want to go on, that's for sure. Ah. Alright, so I guess we can jump over that way. I guess we could have taken either path. No, I don't think I need anything. I'm going to go back to the other path just because I think that jump will be a little bit easier for us. Boing. I'm at full health. Let's try and make our way out. Of course, the dead aren't supposed to leave their domain. These are the Guardians of the Graveyard. Now, they're mainly invincible, but after they attack, we'll be able to strike back. So just wait patiently. As you can see, it's usually a bit easier to try to hit them with your ranged attack than with your sword. Won't stop me from trying, though. Alright, looks like I can get off 2 shots. So that's just what we're gonna do. They're a tricky bunch, that's for sure. All right, we're getting there. That's one. And now it's just going to be a lot more aggressive. But if we adopt the stick and move strategy, we should come out on top. Now play dead. We've obtained the Daring Dash. Press the R1 button while on the move to surge ahead. You can jump during a Daring Dash for more speed, or for more distance, rather. You can also use it to knock down walls and other things. It's a very nifty skill.
All has changed outside the necropolis. Paths go this way, paths go that way. Nasty, painful death waits round every turn and over every hill. Bon voyage.
Thanks for the warm send-off. Is it too late to turn back? I think I'll buy something on the way out. Alright, so with a mighty 4 chalices, let's see what we get.
Bravo, Fortesque! Some of the other chaps wagered Zarok would be using your ribcage as a toast rack by now. But I knew you'd pull through. Here, I have a little extra something here I can give you. Could help the old quest. You want it?
Woo! Got some money. That's always nice. Let's see. I am going to buy some crossbow bolts. And also, I like this. If you pay the gargoyle for anything, you get this animation. They're literally money-hungry gargoyles. Again, I just love that. That's so good. Alright, so with that, we are out of the graveyard and into the world of the living. Surely things can only get easier from here, right? I wish. But before we do that, we want to make a quick pit stop back at home. Technically, we could have done this as soon as we got the club, but, well, I didn't really need it. It was, this was the best opportunity that I could think of to do it. So revisiting the stage causes all of the treasure to respawn, and you better believe I'm going to be picking it up, because we are going to need money. Not necessarily in like a Spyro sense, where the money is literally a gate, but, you know, being able to simply purchase more ammo and other upgrades when we need them is really nice. Get some more throwing daggers. We've got a new copper shield, which I am going to equip, just so that we can save our silver one. Well, actually, we're more likely to obtain silver shields now than copper shields, so we'll keep the silver one equipped. But this wall looks a little wonky. That's because we could bash it down. And by doing so, we not only get some treasure, but a new life bottle. We now have 1,500 hit points. So yeah, you're also going to see me coming back here if at any point we get seriously hurt, because this is going to be a very easy way to recover our health. But with that, we're actually going to get out of here. So we actually have some paths we can go down. The Enchanted Earth, or the Scarecrow Fields. We can't make much progress in the Enchanted Earth currently, so we're going to go to the Scarecrow Fields. Scary scarecrows.
The scarecrows are almost unstoppable, so don't be a hero. If you can't beat them, try trapping them while you make your escape. Using your new Daring Dash ability should help you get ahead of them quickly.
Oh yeah, so the scarecrows are pretty tough, but thankfully we have something that will allow us to fight them off pretty well. The Warhammer. The scarecrows will like to charge at you with this arm-flailing spin attack. Simply wait for them to stop, then pulverize them. The scarecrows are pretty durable though, so you'll want to be careful. And also fight them in more open environments just so you don't get pinned in. We seem to have gotten ourselves into a rut. But yeah, this is why you want the Warhammer, because not only does it deal big damage, but the shockwave can help you hit them more safely. Alright, nice. If we jump the fence, well actually no, we'll have to pass through on the other side. So as you can see here, we got farmers. Thankfully these are the evil farmers, so we don't have to worry about repercussions or anything. Just slice them to bits. Kick! So that blocks the path, but that's okay. We need the moon rune for this.
Beware of mischief makers and metal machines. Who knows what dark sorcery brings their metal limbs to life? It would be good to see the back of such menaces.
Alright. Let's see, before we do... Ooh, actually... Yeah, let's take care of the farmers in the haystack first. After all, we need all those points for the chalice. Alright, looks like you're finally out of farmers. Ah, refreshing. There's an energy vial, but I don't need it right now, so we'll hold off. What I will do, however, is I'm going to equip my club. And we're going to use the fire to burn down the haystacks. I don't know why they exploded, but it was cool. Oh, nothing? What a jip. I don't think I can light that haystack on fire, but I'm willing to find out. Nope. And there's not one back here, so we won't worry about it. His club makes me want chicken wings. It's actually very funny you mentioned that. I'm not sure if we'll get to it in this episode, but keep that thought in the back of your mind for later. It'll make way more sense when we actually figure out what it is. Alright, so these imps are driving these mechs, you know, as one does. Thankfully we can just simply zoom behind him and start picking away. Okay, Roger, Roger. Yeah, I know. It's pretty weird. Rest assured, we'll get there. I promise. All right, let's go on inside. Got some annoying bats. found an earth rune. And a club. Well, oh, there are more bats. That's why I'm taking damage. You know what? If, there's no real loading screen here, I see no reason as to why we can't go inside and set that, hay bale on fire. Oh yeah, this little guy. He's just like the mascot of the studio. They just hit him in a bunch of random places in the game. It's very cool. You don't get anything for it, but it's neat. Anyway, collect that health, and we'll just proceed merrily along our way. Toss in the earth rune. Avoid the windmill. There's a healing fountain. We're going to want to make good use of it later. Ugh, more scarecrows. Alright. Get ready for a slamma-jamma banana-rama! Alright. Oh, another one. Actually, hold on. Can the shockwave pass beyond the gate? Guess we'll find out. I found a silver shield. Excellent. Let's go back and top ourselves up. Ah. Alright, it does look like the fountain is still there, so if we need more healing, we can just mosey on right back. Okay. Switch back to our trusty crossbow. We got this joker again. Only now with, mortars? I don't know, dude. Again, this is not entirely a fantasy game. There are definitely some weirder elements to it, which I'm alright with. Got the Chaos Rune. Open up the Chaos Gate. Sorry about that.
These fields are home to many mad machines, yet the most bizarre of them is housed within this barn.
Well, then we better figure out a way to get inside now, shouldn't we? Alright, hold on. Ah, we'll have to come across, we'll have to go the other way. It's fine with me. Again, how many farmers are in this hay bale? Seems a little excessive, don't you think? Got some money. Now, you're probably wondering, Defender, why aren't you walking through the wheat? There's a very good reason for that. In fact, I think if we... Is it this book or another book? that will tell us.
Katura, the Serpent Lord, yearns to fight alongside you, but has been captured by Zarok and sealed within a chest. Free this mighty spirit and earn a powerful ally.
Ah, hello! So yeah, this sacred spirit will maul enemies for us. In theory, anyway. But he will only assist us for a limited time, so we gotta move fast. Sick 'em! Alright, I've got enough souls for the chalice, which is good. But I'll keep defeating enemies just to make the path a little cleaner for us. I took enough damage, so I had to use a life bottle. That's alright. I can see the chalice off in the distance. Alright, this is the book, I think, telling us what we need to know.
Death waits in the cornfield. Pick your route carefully and do not linger in the corn.
So yeah, there's some weird kind of enemy lurking in the entire cornfield. If you stay in it for too long, you will instantly lose a life bottle, so don't. And no, in case you're wondering, you cannot burn the entire cornfield down, you monster. So don't even think about it. That's a health vial. I will hold on to that. I may need it later. Got some money. This is how we'll enter the barn. And also more obnoxious bats. Moving to mobile so I can watch while I'm getting dinner ready. Ooh, what's for dinner tonight? If you don't mind me asking. So yeah, we can see the chalice way off in the distance, but we won't be able to get to it just by walking through the corn, because we'll perish too quickly. Ah! Ah, another scarecrow. Alright, looks like that took care of him. I'm gonna try and make some corn clam potato chowder. It's soup season. Well, that sounds pretty good. Alright, so now we gotta make our way through the malfunctioning, or I guess technically it's still working, harvester equipment. We don't want to become the bone broth in a nice, delicious soup now, don't we? Ow! I'm gonna hold off on that. Ow! Oh, that hurt a lot. I guess I shouldn't be too surprised. Okay, what are the point of these saw blades? There clearly cannot be any practical, like, farm use for these. Or is there? You know, I admit it, I'm not a farmer. I don't know. Found a harvester part. Well, you know what that means. Now we gotta backtrack our way through this literal death trap. This is why it's very good to collect as many life bottles as you can get your hands on, because you're going to be taking a lot of hits. MediEvil is definitely the kind of game that isn't really... Oh. Well, I fell into the pit, and so that instantly consumed one of my life bottles. Not great. But yeah, MediEvil is not a game about, like, little hits. You've got a lot of health. You should spend it. Spend it wisely, of course, but you should still spend it. Alright, now that we've made our way back through all of that... This is a fantastic camera angle, by the way. We need to make our way back to the barn. Ooh, I want that. Ah. But now with the harvester part in our possession, open the book.
The corn-cutting machine is missing a part. A cog fell off this miracle of modern agriculture, and it hasn't worked since.
Well, a quick little bit of hopping will get us where we need to go. Get out of my way, bat. Found a copper shield. Alright. Pull the lever. This thing looks like a spider, which is kind of cool. If we go ahead and throw in the harvester part, a cog is a Dan's best friend. Off it goes. What a marvel of modern technology. And it has successfully now bored a path through the field. It is now trapped and malfunctioning, but I think we'll live. We have the chalice, a whole bunch of money, and the most important part, another life bottle. And we've also got a healing fountain should we need it. Alright, we've gotten all the goodies here, so let's make a break for it. However, this does mean we have to go through the whole thresher portion one last time. But, I mean, still, this is one of the great sequences of MediEvil. Can you say you've platformed through old farming equipment that's trying to kill you? Most people can't. Avoid being ground to dust again. Wait for it. Huh. Huh. And finally. Whoop. I was gonna take the hits.
Pumpkin Gorge, dead ahead. The nursery to Gallowmere's favorite side dish. Step inside and understand the true horror of fruit gone bad.
Well, with an advertising pitch like that, I just have to find out. Alright, with the mighty 5 chalices, we can talk to this guy. Oh, what wacky accent are you going to give us now?
Fortesque, you jawless arrow magnet. What are you doing back here? What? Call me Mr. Woden the Mighty. How I pity the people of Gallowmere, that their fate should once again be in the hands of a chump like you. Still, I suppose it's not fair to take it out on them. Take my sword, and do try not to stab yourself in the foot. You know, I've always had my doubts about you, Fortesque. You're just not carved from hero material.
And with that, we have the broadsword. However, it is magic enchanted, which means it deals way more damage. But as you keep the sword out, its percentage will drop. So we'll want to make sure that we have another weapon on standby that we'll keep until we're ready to start swinging, just that we can maximize its magic value. Now don't worry, if you need more magic, you can enchant the sword to get it back, but as you can see, it's kind of costly. You know what, I will buy more crossbow bolts. Alright, let's get out of here. And with that, we actually have quite a few new areas open to us. So yeah, MediEvil is definitely a lot more open than other games. There's a lot of different directions you can go. Now whether or not it's a good direction, well, that'll be up for you to find out, but that's all part of the adventure, isn't it? Anyway, let's head towards the Sleeping Village.
Poor villagers. The master possesses them. It mustn't hurt them. Hurt guards, though. They seek out an object of great power.
Okay, so what this gargoyle is telling us, and if we check our menu, we actually have a fair amount of the chalice progression already filled. That is because the villagers are good souls. If you eliminate them, your percentage for the chalice will actually drop. If you take too many of them out, even if you eliminate all the enemies in the stage, you won't be able to get the chalice. Yes, again, we're flipping the script. This one is going to involve a lot of not attacking. So yeah, just use your shield and dash around to avoid hurting the villagers. Excuse me, I'm just trying to peruse the village. I was about to say city, but it's a little too small for that. Alright, it looks like we were able to beat a retreat for now. But yeah, this stage is mostly puzzle solving. We'll have to explore, find what we need, and then, make an escape.
The rune key is held aloft by the flow of water from the fountain. You may have to wait for the next drought.
Well, that might take a while, so let's see if we can't speed things up a bit. If we head down here and unlock the lever, we will shut off the water. Don't mind me. Obtain the Chaos Rune. Boy, you are persistent, ain't you? There was a door that opened up around here, didn't it? Ow! You need the moon rune to get in here. Excuse me, ma'am. I just need the moon rune. So terribly sorry. Didn't mean to be a bother. I'll see myself out. Goodbye. Here you go. Let me in, please.
Tourist Guide to Gallowmere, Part 2. If it's mystery you're looking for, then the seasoned adventurer should travel to the ruins of King Peregrine's castle. Yes, this is the fortress from which the fabled King Peregrine once hailed.
So yeah, the library is actually just full of lore of the area.
History of Gallowmere, Volume 1.
You can learn about the Gallowmere's history, the heroes, all that stuff. It is all fascinating, but unfortunately, we're here for another purpose.
To whom it may concern, I must make haste, for Zarok's men will be here within the hour. I have taken the crucifix from the church. It is the key to a key. I used the cross to make the attached cast. Then I had it destroyed. It is my hope that this cast falls into the hands of a just and good hero. Signed, the town mayor.
All right. Well, let's pick up the crucifix cast. Don't mind me. All right, so with that, now we can head back into this area where we were before. We can push the barrel onto the button to get it where we need to go. We got rats. And yes, you can in fact crush the rats to get a little extra cash, should you so need it. Or desire it. And apparently, because rats are not good souls, we don't lose any chalice progress. That is a sturdy rat. We got another club. We need the earth rune. So I believe we climb the stairs.
Bust of Mr. Shanks, landlord of the Troll's Head. To clean the statue, lower the pedestal.
All right. Well, as you can see, there's someone in there. It looks like we'll have to clear out some of the junk. Again, you can hit the villagers a little bit, but, you know, if you hit them too much, you'll finish them off, so don't do that. We got the earth rune. Alright, so we should be able to drop down in here, get hit on the way out. Yeah, unfortunately this stage is just a lot of cheap hits, so you'll want to make sure that your health is good. Alright, with the landlord's bust in our possession. We'll now be able to actually make our crucifix that we need.
Hurry, comrades, tear this place apart. If we don't find the shadow artifact, Lord Zarok will have us mocking out the demons for the next millennium.
So yeah, don't ask me why there are now Russian steamer demons. I don't know. But these are bad souls, so feel free to slice and dice them. And of course, thanks to the efforts of these buffoons, the villagers have left for now. At least I believe so. I certainly hope so. I'm a little tired of them hitting me. I'm definitely going to grab this vial. I could use the health. Alright, so with both the cast and the bust, we're going to go into here.
Blacksmith's Monthly. Old man Willie Green of Gallowstown was awarded Smithy of the Season by our readers. His outstanding casts have produced many intricate and hard-wearing iron goods and sculptures. Willie only uses the finest of metals in his work, and is particularly noted for his magnificent busts. Old man Willie was quoted as saying, "Aye, when I get pumping on me bellows, there's no stopping me. It's all in the rhythm, up and down, up and down. I've always been inspired by the stories of Stanya Ironhewer, the greatest smithy there ever was."
Alright then. Well, let's crack open our inventory. Place the cast. And the bust. Got a silver shield, very nice. And let's get pumping. It'll take quite a few jumps, but so be patient. Metalworking is, after all, a slow and steady process, not something to rush. But after enough, we'll earn a crucifix. You are very fast, sir. I don't like it. Look, I'm just attempting to smite the rats so that I can get my coin count back to an even amount. Otherwise, it'll bug the living daylights out of me. There we go. Okay, see you later. No, put that away. Not sure why he's going over there, but I'm very grateful for it. So now that we have the crucifix, we gotta look for the right place to put it. And I believe a good place to find a crucifix is a church.
A crucifix once stood here, but the mayor took it. Find a replacement and see how the church should really look.
Alright, well. Hangs out in churches. That's better. Found a key.
Dear sir or madam, on my travels across Gallowmere, I have come across many mysterious and enchanting finds. However, that which filled me with deepest dread was discovery of the tomb of the shadow demons. The key to their dank prison, the mysterious shadow artifact, is now in my possession. Yours fearfully, the town mayor.
Alright, well, with this key, I guess we'll go look for it. There, we open up the little door by the lake. Ah, here we are. The door's blocked, of course, so we'll just have to find another way in. Time to make like Santa Claus and fall down the chimney. That opens the door back to our exit. But with the key in our possession, no safe is safe. Obtained the shadow artifact. Give shadow demons a helping hand. Well, I'm sure that now it's in the possession of a klutz like Dan. Everything will be fine and dandy, right? Alright, let's take care of these boiler guards. Alright, after defeating the guards, we can now go get the chalice, which is right back near that house we just came from. We'll just jump right on in. And as you can see, we can knock down this wall. There we go. Dan always does like to make an impact.
Capture that greedy profiteer, the town mayor. Take him to the asylum dungeons. Give the fat boy a good going over. Locate the shadow artifact. Bring me back something nice.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna pillage a village, you might as well get something good out of it. Who doesn't love souvenirs?
Gaining allies in the Hall of the Heroes is the way forward. Hack, choppity chop, off with a few zombies' heads, and it thinks it can redeem itself in battle. You still have a long way to go to rank as the best.
True, but you know what they say, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Hey, give me some free stuff.
By God, Fortesque, you must be the luckiest corpse ever to walk the face of the earth. I have something here I can lend to you. Take it or leave it, but remember, I'm only doing this for the sake of Gallowmere's doomed population, and not for you, you gangly buffoon!
Got some money. Alright, let's get out of here. The village is complete. Now we can move on to the asylum grounds. Which, I mean, is basically just a big ol' hedge maze, which is fair. Those things will drive you mad. Although, to be fair, I've never been in a hedge maze in a really long time. I don't know, I just never found them fun. Well, I guess we're not, going the way we came back in. Okay. No, read, Fortesque!
This is the Garden of Zarok. Nothing here is as it first seems. To leave this maze, you must first seek out the one called Jack of the Green.
Alright. So yeah, the asylum grounds are a weird place indeed. Again, a lot more puzzle solving, but with a bit more of navigational challenges. Okay, you weird, goofy looking... Ow, whoa. Hello, you must be the one they called Jack of the Green.
Greetings, Sir Fortesque. My name is Jack of the Green. I am the master of riddles, and this maze is my domain. You are free to leave, but only once you've answered 4 riddles. Puzzles so fiendishly difficult, so perplexingly complex, that no man has ever solved them. Ha ha ha. Now, try my first riddle. At night they come without being fetched. By day they are lost without being stolen.
Alright. Stars, of course! So now we just need to find the star bushes and give them a good whack. Or a cut. 6 to 1, half a dozen the other. Makes no difference to me. Fortunately, my trusty broadsword is running a little low on magic, so eventually it will become a not magic broadsword, but just a broadsword. Which is still useful, but just a little less so. Alright, well, at least this way I can now just have my broadsword out and not worry about wasting its magic. That is a lot of dudes. This is also not a great camera angle. All right. So yeah, again, different environment than what we've been seeing.
Well done, Sir Knight. But my star riddle was but a trifle. I always like to begin with an easy one. Return hither. You will not find my next conundrum so simple.
Alright, if you insist.
I live for laughter. I live for the crowd. Without it, I am nothing.
Alright, well that sounds like a clown. So let's find a clown. But yeah, thankfully the hedge maze is not that confusing. It's a little confusing, but nothing you can't solve with a little bit of patience. I think I'm gonna make use of my shield.
Show the clown you care by surrounding him with smiles.
Alright, so we'll need to hit the panels in order to make the smiles appear. This is a more of a timed challenge, so as long as you swing furiously, you'll be fine. Alright, why don't we try... Okay. It's not quite what I wanted to do. Okay. Are you serious? I was just a little too slow. Okay. But I do think that is the right idea.
Yes, it was a clown. Very clever, I'm sure. Return in haste, Sir Knight, for I wish to see the despair on your face when you hear my next cryptic puzzler.
Alright. So far, I'm not really seeing the, puzzle here, if you're, catching my drift.
Face like a tree, skin like the sea. A great beast I be, yet vermin frighten me.
Alright. Oh, now this place is open. I'm gonna make sure we hit the grave digger and not the cats. There's the chalice. Sorry, I'm just checking my notes real quick. Alright, looks like we need something else first. So yeah, we gotta defeat the hedge squid? I don't get it. Got a chaos rune. There's a fountain, which I think I'm gonna need. There's the clown again. And yeah, I probably should have mentioned this before, but there is no map of a stage, so you don't have that luxury. Granted, none of the stages are so big that I think you really need one, but it would be nice. Definitely. And so I'll just have to make do with the health I got. So now we got a little rat friend who's following us around. So the trick is we need to get him past these cats. And bring it to the elephant.
Did you spot my bluff? I pretended that riddle was hard, but in truth it was obviously an elephant. This time, however, I almost pity you. The answer to my next vexing enigma has eluded the finest minds of a whole generation.
Well, we'll see about that.
I tolerate the moon and stars. I can't abide the sun. Banish me with torchlight and you'll see me turn and run.
Uh-oh. I'll ring your bell. Alright, now we can get the chalice. Again, not exactly a lot of finesse to this combat system, but, you know, yeah, it works. Got it. Definitely want some first aid. I think this might be the first time we actively deplete a fountain. Yep, this fountain's dry. But still, that's a good amount of health, I think. So yeah, you can probably see where this is going. We'll need to push these pedestals with the torches towards the stained glass windows so we can generate some light.
Blast you. It took me ages to come up with that darkness one. Very well. Outrageous as it seems, my vast intellect has been matched by your badly decomposed brain. Return at once and I shall give you your prize.
Sounds like somebody's a sore loser. I'm back. I do want to see what was down the other pathway we could have gone from the elephant opening, so let's talk to Jack first, and then we'll be on our merry way.
You think you're so clever, don't you? Here you are, Sir Clever Clogs. I grant you free passage through my maze. Find your own way out.
Jerk. Now this is the way out. Okay. Hold on then. What was that gargoyle for then? I want to talk to him. Oh, you're a merchant. Okay. Then let me enchant my sword. Well, I'm definitely glad I did that. Excuse me. Uh-oh. Ow! Jerk. Alright, well, the last puzzle is surprisingly easy. We just need to move the chess pieces onto their correct colored spaces. But, just like the chess pieces themselves, they can only move in certain directions. Also, they make very funny noises. You are being very uncooperative today, mister. I don't appreciate that. There we go. Down we go. With the 7th chalice, the stairs have become solid. We can now head to the 2nd floor. It's a momentous occasion.
Dan. Don't be shy. I've seen you giving me the eye. You may be weak and feeble like old men, but I like you, Daniel. Now listen up. Your bow and arrows are fine for itty-bitty jobs, but if you want to pack some serious heat, you should take this spear.
Obtained the spear. Just like a throwing dagger, really, most things can be classified spears if you're willing to throw them. But yeah, now we've got a pretty great ranged option. Not to say that we haven't had anything good before, but you know. Now we can throw long, pointy sticks at people. That seems pretty good to me. And let's see if we can purchase more spears, should we need them. Thankfully, we're pretty full for now. You know what? I am going to buy crossbow bolts just so that we can stay stocked up. Alright, well, we have access now to the inside the asylum, but we're not going to go there yet. So yeah, we've actually got a lot of different directions that we can go. And I think I know where I would like to go next. But we're going to save that for another time. Yeah, I know this stream is a little bit shorter, but I don't know. MediEvil, especially once you know what you're doing, is not a very long game, which I think is part of the appeal. It keeps its variety going, but I don't want to tire myself out, so I think we're just gonna call it here. So thank you for stopping by, everybody. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. If you'd like to stay up to date on the things that I do, please consider following. But for now, this is the Defender signing out. See you later.